So this is your Power Hour. My name is Katie Kennedy. I'm from 19 Wing Comox, and I'm a PSP instructor here on the base. So we're going to be doing a Vinyasa flow yoga practice. So we're going to be working on flexibility, mobility, some balance, and some core strength today. So remember just to take the softer edge of a posture if needed. So really honor where your body is at. Okay, so I'm just going to read this little disclaimer to you. In response to COVID-19, PSP is offering telefitness to Canadian Armed Force members. By using social media platforms, the telefitness classes tailored to the Canadian Armed Force members become accessible to all. Prior to participating in this session, make sure to make an informed decision on whether you should seek advice from a qualified exercise professional or healthcare provider. Consult the Get Active Questionnaire of the Canadian Society of Exercise Physiology in its reference document. You can click on the links below. By continuing with this telefitness class, you understand that there's a possibility of physical injury and you agree to do so voluntarily at your own risk. You also assume any risk of injury and agree to release the Canadian Forces Morale and Welfare Services from any and all claims related to your participation in this telefitness class. Okay, so without further ado, my name is Katie Kennedy. We're doing a Vinyasa flow practice, so hoping that you join in or maybe share it on your Facebook page so it's easy to find later on. All right, guys, so just go ahead and come onto your mat and we will get started. So we're just gonna come onto the mat in child's posture today. So we're gonna take a moment to spread our fingers out nice and wide, bring our hands onto our mat, bring our hips back towards our heels, and just take a moment to move left and right. So just taking a moment to settle back into the posture and bring your forehead down to the ground. And then coming into a nice long breath, allowing your exhale to gently become longer than your inhale. So we're using our breath to prepare our body for movement today. Breathing all the way down into the base of the lungs, allowing the side ribs and the back ribs to expand. Just feeling into the body for a few moments as you breathe. Figuring out what you might need from class today. And just glancing forward, taking a nice big inhale. Go ahead and come up to a good tabletop position. And we'll move through cow and cat posture. Go ahead, take a nice big inhale. Lift your chin, lift your tail, draw your shoulders back. Coming into cow. Exhale, tuck your chin, tuck your tail, arching up into cat. Nice big inhale. Lift your chin, lift your tail. Exhale, rounding all the way up. Stay with a nice long breath and allowing your breath to lead your movement in your body. Coming back to tabletop, go ahead and lift the opposite arm and the opposite leg. Lengthen all the way out on the inhale. As you exhale, bring the hand and knee back down. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale on the way down. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale down. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale down. One more time on either side. Nice long deep breaths. And then choosing to hold right here, or you might reach back to catch your foot. Roll your shoulder onto your back and press your foot into your hand. Bring the ball of the foot up towards the sky. So you're in a bow-like position, getting a nice stretch through the hip flexor, through your chest, and the front of your shoulder. Inhale here, and exhale down. Switching to the other side. Inhale, lengthen and lift, choosing to stay right here, or you might reach back to catch your foot. Draw your shoulder onto your back, and then press your foot into your hand. Push your whole body away from your mat. Taking some nice deep breaths. stretching through the chest, the shoulder, and your hip flexor. Nice inhale here. Exhale all the way down. Go ahead and bring your whole body forward. Bring your elbows out to the side. Fingertips just slightly forward to the shoulders. Go ahead and roll your shoulders and your elbows backwards. So we're just warming up through the shoulders and the neck a little bit. And then bring your shoulder forward and glance out over top of your elbow. So you're just bringing your elbows forward and backwards. Little stretch across the trapezius. And then placing the hands underneath the shoulders. Go ahead and come back up to tabletop. Take a moment to spread your fingers out underneath your shoulders. Go ahead and move left and right. So we're just feeling into our hips, feeling into that iliotibial bands. And then bringing the hands slightly forward of the shoulders. Go ahead and tuck your toes under. Hips back towards your heels and forehead close to the floor. Draw up through the abdominals, lifting all the way up into down facing dog. Go ahead and move your heels up and down. Spread your fingers out as wide as possible. Press into all parts of the hand. Draw up through the belly button. You might soften your knees. Send your hips back, then gently lengthen through the legs. Coming up onto the toes, go ahead and walk the feet all the way into the hands. Cross your arms over top of each other and gently move left and right. Keeping the head and neck really nice and loose here. Just allowing your knees to softly bend. And then curling up vertebrae by vertebrae. Taking a moment to spread your toes out as wide as possible, coming up to the top of the mat. Go ahead and inhale both arms wide to the sky. Exhale, coming into a good squat position. Inhale, arms wide to the sky. Exhale, send your seat back. Inhaling on the way up and exhaling on the way down. So we're just taking a few moments to warm up our legs a little bit here. Squatting with your breath, so you're inhaling as you come up, exhaling as you go down. You might brush the mat with your fingertips. We're going to bring one hand towards the front of the mat, one hand towards the back of the mat. You're glancing over top of your shoulder. So there's that nice little twist from the bottom up to the top. Good job. One more on either side. And stopping at the top of the mat, go ahead and spread your toes out as wide as possible. Just gonna make sure that everything's working okay here. Hello, Dave. Hello, Kurt. Hello, Jesse, Paul, Stephen. Thank you all for watching. Good job, guys. Okay, so from the top of the mat, moving into some good sun salutations today. Inhale, both arms wide to the sky. Exhale, folding at the hip. Inhale to halfway lift, slide your shoulders back. Remember, your knees can be quite bent here. Exhale, folding forward, stepping back to plank position. From the knees or the feet, inhale, shift forward. Exhale, elbows tight to the side. Inhale to low or high cobra. Take a moment to press the back of the head towards the back wall. Draw your shoulders onto the back. Inhale here, exhale back to down facing dog. Taking a few moments to move the heels up and down. You might press into one hand and then the other hand, letting some shifting occur through the shoulders and the hips. Nice big inhale, left leg reaches up to the sky. Exhale, step the left foot all the way through. Let your hips settle down towards the mat. Inhale into halfway lift, draw the shoulders back. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, both arms wide to the sky, stretch all the way up. Exhale, the hands back down towards your heart. One more time, inhale, arms wide to the sky. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale to halfway lift, sliding your shoulders back. Exhale, folding forward, stepping back to plank position. Inhale, shift the shoulders over top of the fingertips. Exhale, chaturanga down. Inhale to low or high cobra. Exhale, back to down facing dog. And just moving around one more time. So bending each knee, allowing your shoulders to shift, gently pressing each shoulder back towards the opposite foot. Pressing into all parts of the hand. Nice big inhale, right leg reaches up to the sky. Exhale, step your right foot all the way through. Allow your hips to soften down towards the mat. Inhale into halfway lift. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, both arms wide to the sky, stretching all the way up. Exhale, the hands back down towards the heart. And then just stepping into the center of your mat. We're going to come into a nice forward fold. Inhale, arms wide to the sky. Exhale, folding forward. And from here, you can have a slight bend in your knees. Go ahead and cross your right hand over top of your left foot. Inhale, your left arm wide to the side. Working with your breath as you inhale. Think of lengthening a little bit through the spine as you exhale. Think of twisting. Gently bringing your left hand down, bringing it across your right foot, and then extending your right arm up to the side. Try to pull your shoulder onto your back. Nice inhale here, and exhale. Back down, head and neck nice and loose. Inhale, both arms wide to the sky. Stretching all the way up. Exhale, folding forward. From here, we're just going to toe heel our feet to the outside and sink our seat down. Now we're going to bring our hands together, gently work into the inner thighs. So we're gently pressing our knees back slightly. From here, we're going to bring our right arm inside our knee, a nice big inhale, bringing the other arm up to the sky. Exhale, gently dropping the chin, so feeling into the low back. And then bringing your other arm in front of the knee, a big inhale, arm wide to the sky, so we're pressing that knee out to the side. And exhale, just gently dropping your chin down towards your chest. Bringing the hands back to the mat. Bringing your feet to face forward. A nice inhale, both arms up. So we're starting this nice big stretch position here. Inhale, stretch out. Exhale, touch towards your toes. Go ahead and turn your toes out, dropping down, knees are out. Lifting the arms up to the sky, draw your shoulders back, and then we're gonna power all the way back up. Then allowing the arms to gently float down. So this is a really nice sequence of postures to do. If you're someone that likes to strength train in the gym, because it works into the hips a little bit and it works into the hamstrings and the glutes, providing some nice lengthening. So nice big inhale. Both arms wide to the sky. Exhale, touch towards your toes. Bring a little bit of weight into the balls of your feet, and then drop your seat down. Knees out, out, out. Working into the inner thighs a bit. Arms up, shoulders back, so that overhead squat position. Spiral the pinky fingers in and drive all the way up. Let your arms float down. Good job. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale, touch towards your toes. You might bring a little bit of weight into the balls of the feet. Then dropping the seat down. Go ahead and turn the knees out. Work into those inner thighs a little bit. Good. Arms up. Shoulders back, spiral the pinky fingers in, and drive all the way up. Well done. So now we're going to come into a wide-legged stance with our toes facing forward. So it should feel like you're almost slightly pigeon-toed. The outside edge of our foot is in line with the outer edge of our mat. Just taking your hands into your hip crease, we're going to send the hips back. And then we're going to bring our hand right underneath our nose. Take a nice big inhale. Bringing your right arm wide to the side. So we've got a nice flat back here. A couple nice long deep breaths. Inhale here, exhale, bring that hand down. Nice big inhale, arm wide to the side. Inhale here, then we'll bring our hands back in line with our toes. Go ahead and bend through the elbows. Then we're just gently bringing the crown of the head down towards the floor by bringing a little bit of weight into the balls of the feet. And gently placing one hand on one side, one hand on the other side. Go ahead and come all the way back up. Good job. Then taking a moment, we're going to turn our left foot out and our right foot just slightly forward, so at about a 45-degree angle. Go ahead and float the arms up, draw your shoulders onto your back, coming into Warrior 2 or Virabhadrasana 2. We're engaging the back glute, we're bending through the front knee, we're taking that knee out towards the little toe. So we're turning the knee out, working into the inner thighs. Go ahead and bring your back hand onto your thigh, turn your front hand to face up, inhale up and over. A few nice long, big, deep breaths here, reaching down that back leg. Inhale back up, go ahead and straighten the front leg, hands on your hips. Move your hips left and right to get ready for triangle posture. We're going to shift our hip towards the back of the mat, float the arms up, start to extend towards the front. When you can no longer extend, just bring the bottom arm down and the top arm up. I'm pressing both hips forward towards the side of the mat, and I'm drawing my shoulder onto my back. A couple nice big deep breaths here. Nice big inhale up and over, reverse triangle. Nice long lines from your fingertips all the way through the side body. Inhale back up. Go ahead and bend that front knee and then sweep the mat with your back hand. We're coming into extended side angle. So keep bending through the front knee, drawing your knee towards the little toe. You might even work your hand down to the inside of your foot, or you might take your top hand behind you, bottom hand underneath, and link those two together, rolling your shoulder back. So just remember to use the edge of the posture that works well for the body today. Then gently releasing, we're going to bring our hand down to the mat and bring our top hand to our hip. And then we're going to take a step in, so we're going to shorten up our stance. From here, we're going to bring our hand to the outer edge of our mat, so about a hand width away from the front foot at a 45-degree angle. Then we're going to push off that back foot. So we're coming into Ardha Chandrasana, or half moon posture. I'm just going to move this way because I'm not sure if I'm out of the frame. We're rolling our top hip back. We're flexing through our foot and then extending that top arm. So half moon posture is a nice balancing posture. You can also get active through the core, and you can take that hand away from the mat. And bringing both hands down to the ground, coming back into plank position. Drawing in through the belly button, you can move from your knees or from your feet. A nice big inhale coming into side plank. Vashisthasana, nice big inhale here. Or you're right here, stacking your shoulder right over top of your hand. You may take your top foot away. Good, exhale that hand down to the ground. Moving to the other side, either knees over top of knees, press your hips forward, reach up to the sky, foot over top of foot, stacking your shoulder over top of your hand. Nice inhale here. Exhale the hand down, and then resting back in child's posture for a few moments. So just gently moving left and right, hips come back towards the heels. So yoga is that beautiful play between work and rest. So coming into some nice rest here, checking back in with your breath. A bit shortened up a little bit, just lengthening it back out. It's those big, beautiful, long breaths that help us to calm our nervous system. It also helps to bring more oxygen to all your muscles and your cells. a nice big inhale, tucking those toes under, hips back towards the heels, forehead close to the mat. Go ahead and press all the way back up to down facing dog. From here, keep your knees soft and bring your shoulders towards your feet, just like you're going to push your whole mat forward. You might gently extend the legs, or you might keep the legs bent today. Think of spiraling the eyes of the elbows forward, so I'm spinning my triceps to the back and my biceps to the front of the mat. Nice big inhale, right leg reaches up to the sky. Exhale, step the right foot through. So we're in a nice low lunge position. And for a softer edge, you can drop your back knee down. We're gonna place our left hand down right underneath our shoulders. Nice big inhale, right arm reaches up to the sky. Exhale, the elbow down towards the big toe. Inhale, expand, lift up. Exhale, close, drop down. Two more. Nice big inhale on the way up. Exhale on the way down. Nice long breaths. From here, placing your hands on the inside and the outside of that foot, go ahead and come all the way up. We're going to bring our arms up towards the sky, bend through the front knee, and press through the back heel. And then from here, we're going to bring our arms out to the side and lengthen out our opposite arm over top of that opposite front leg. So in a nice big high lunge. Go ahead and hook your elbow over top of your thigh. Bring your hands together. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to twist. Remember, you can be right here as well. Just choosing the edge that works well for you. A few more nice big deep breaths, twisting through the torso. And bringing the hands back down to ground. Go ahead and take a step in. Place your whole foot down. And then start to lengthen up through that front leg. We're going to spin our back hip forward and our front hip back. So we're trying to square the hips up a little bit. Inhale, arms wide to the sky. Exhale, coming forward over top of that front leg. And you might just place your hands somewhere on that leg. If you have blocks, you might use those. Or you might bring your fingertips down to the ground. So we're in a nice big hamstring stretch in pyramid posture. Choosing to stay here, you might walk your hands back, or you might come into a little chest expansion. Now bring the hands back down. Nice big inhale, coming all the way back up. Go ahead and bring your arms out to the side, sweeping your arms all the way up to the front of your mat. Exhale, allowing your arms to gently float down. Then stepping back into the center of the mat. So we're coming back into that nice wide stance with our toes forward. We're lining up the outer edges of our feet with the outside edges of the mat. We're drawing in and up through the belly button. Go ahead and place your hands into the hip creases. Gently send your hips back. So you can either use that position of the hand right underneath the nose, or you might fold a little bit further and take your hand over top of your foot. Nice big inhale, wide-legged forward fold with a twist. Drawing your shoulder onto your back. Taking some nice deep breaths. Try to bring your thumb forward. Nice inhale here. And either bringing the other hand underneath the nose, that nice flat back out to the side, or bringing your hand over top of your foot a little bit deeper, forward fold. Nice big deep breaths. Inhale here. Exhale the hands down, lining up the fingers and the toes across your mat. Go ahead and bend through the elbows, bringing the forehead down towards the floor and lifting the tail up towards the sky, stretching through the hamstrings. And placing one hand on one thigh, one hand on the other thigh, slight bend in your knee, coming all the way back up. Good job. So we're just going to turn our toes, and we're going to move all the way to the other side. So we're placing the front foot straight forward, the back foot is at about a 45-degree angle. We're coming into Virabhadrasana 2 or Warrior 2 on the other side. Draw in and up through the belly button, float the arms up. Go ahead and bend energetically through your front knee. We're lifting the insteps of our feet up on both feet. So we're pressing into the outer edges of our feet. Try to take your knee out towards the little toe. Switch on through the back glute. Go ahead and bring your front hand to face up. Inhale, up and over. Reverse warrior, placing your hand down the back leg. Nice inhale, coming back up. Go ahead and lengthen the front leg. Hands on your hips, gently move left and right. So we're just trying to get a bit of movement through our hips. Keep your hip towards the back of the mat, float the arms up. Start to extend towards the front. Bringing the bottom arm down, the top arm up in triangle. You're gently rolling the top shoulder back. You're pressing your hips towards the side of the mat. Keep breathing. Nice big inhale, up and over. Reverse triangle, nice long lines. Inhale, back up. Go ahead and bend through the front knee. We're going to place our elbow onto our thigh. Sweep the mat with the back hand, bringing the arm over top of the ear. So this arm here is not crashed into that leg. So there's lots happening through the core. Just a very nice light elbow. Bringing the hand down to the mat if you like, or you might place the bottom arm under, top arm back, and go around your quad, rolling your shoulder back. Gently releasing your bind, placing the top hand onto your hip. Go ahead and take a step in. This is where I'm going to move back a little bit so I'm not out of the frame of the shot. And bringing your hand to a little 45-degree angle from your little toe. Go ahead and draw in and up through the belly button. Push off your back leg. We're coming into what's called Ardha Chandrasana or half moon posture. Rolling your shoulder onto your back, pressing your hips forward. Really try to push through the heel. And then we're extending the arm up towards the sky. We're staying nice and strong through the core. You might look down at your mat, possibly take that bottom hand away. So just challenging your balance a little bit here. Try to stay open through the chest. And bringing the hands down to the mat on either side, stepping back into plank position. From here, we're rolling up into that side plank, either from your knees or from your feet, whichever works better for you. You can take the top foot away if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more. Nice inhale here. Go ahead and place that hand back down. We're rolling to the other side, either from knees or feet, possibly taking that top foot away. And gently placing that hand down and resting back in child's posture. Go ahead and move left and right. Bringing your hips back towards your heels, forehead down on the mat. And just tuning back into your breath again. Again, a big inhale, gathering up your energy. Go ahead and tuck your toes under, lift through the hips, coming into down facing dog. Think of drawing in through the belly button so you can hollow your lower tummy. Bend through the knees, send your shoulders back towards your feet, and then gently lift through the hips. Nice big inhale. Left leg reaches up towards the sky. Exhale, step your left foot all the way through. And you can drop your back knee down to the ground here if you like. Right hand is right underneath the shoulder. Nice big inhale, extending the left arm up to the sky. Exhale the elbow down towards the big toe. Inhale, reach up, open through the chest. Exhale on the way down. Try to soften your hips down towards the mat. One more big deep breath in. And a long breath out. Now placing your hands on either side of that foot, go ahead and come all the way up. Take a moment to square the hips. You're gonna reach both hands up towards the sky. Draw the shoulders back and down. Bend through the front knee. Press through that back heel. So nice stretch through the hip flexor. Now we're gonna bring our arms out to the side, bringing the opposite arm to the front knee forward. Lengthen out over top of that thigh. Hook the elbow across. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to twist. You can drop your back knee down to the ground here if you like. A few nice big breaths here. Then bring your hands on the inside and outside of your foot. Go ahead and take the back foot in a little bit. Straighten up through the front leg. We're coming all the way up. Just doing that little hip check on the way up. So we're bringing the back hip forward and the front hip back, squaring your hips. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Lengthen both sides of the body as you come forward. So you're coming forward over top of that thigh. You place your hands on your thigh, on your shin, or hands on the ground. Go ahead and gently tuck your chin in. You might just gently move your hips left or right and adjust here. Go ahead and walk your hands back towards the back foot. Coming into chest expansion, if you like. Rolling your shoulders onto your back. Gently releasing from wherever you're at. Nice big inhale, coming back just as you went in. Bringing your arms out to the side. Go ahead and step together, bringing the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, allowing the arms to gently float back down. Okay, so we're going to work into a few nice balancing postures next. We're going to start with tree posture. So we're going to make a nice base of support by spreading our toes out on that left foot. So it's really important to make a really strong base through your foot. We're pressing into the big toe joint, the little toe joint, and the heel, and we're lifting through that arch. And then just choosing whether you want to have the other foot with toes on the ground, your foot on your calf, or taking a moment to place your foot into your thigh. So from wherever you're at, just bring your hands together at heart center. You might stay there, or you can add some branches, gently drawing your shoulders back and down, spiraling the pinky fingers in. So there's lots of lines of energy here. We're grounding down through that bottom foot, but we're lifting up through our arms and our fingers. We're tightening through the glute to draw the knee out. Nice inhale here. And exhale. Bringing your hands back to heart center. Go ahead and place both feet back together and just walk your feet out underneath you. Sometimes there's a little bit of a crack or a little pop in behind the toes and the ankles. So just moving your foot around. Go ahead and spread the toes out on your right foot. We're going to do the same on the other side. So we're coming into Virkasana or tree posture. So either from the toes or your calf, or pressing that standing leg into the foot. So you're making a really nice, strong tree trunk leg. Bringing your hands together at heart center, you might extend the arms up and draw the shoulders onto the back. We're squeezing tight through the glute, in and up through the abdominals. Feeling into the groundedness of the bottom foot. Long lines of light out through the fingertips and the top of the head. Nice inhale here. And exhale, bringing your hands back to heart center. Just allowing your feet to walk out gently underneath you. Good job. Okay, we're going to turn towards the side of the mat. So just turning sideways. We're just going to take a little step forward with the left foot. Nice inhale, both arms up to the sky. We're going to draw tight through the belly button. We're just coming all the way forward as the back leg lifts up. So try to make a nice long parallel line from the fingertips all the way through that back heel. So we're pressing through the back heel. This is Warrior 3 or Virabhadrasana 3. From here, we're going to bring our hands together at heart center. Bring the back leg all the way through, cross it over top of our thigh, and sink back and down. So we're bringing our chest down close to that front shin. We're getting a really nice stretch through the glute. Now you can choose to stay right here, which might be quite challenging, or you can bring your elbow over top of your foot and come into a little twist with it. Nice inhale, stepping both feet back together, coming out of it, and moving your feet underneath you. So there's a lot of foot strengthening, a lot of core stability goes into our standing postures as well.
Then we're going to switch to the other side. So we're just going to take our right foot forward, bring both arms up, activate through the abdominals, gently pushing up, keeping the back foot nice and flexed. We're pushing through the heel, making nice long lines from the fingertips all the way through that back heel. Getting that back leg as parallel to the ground as possible. The standing leg has a small bend in it. Then bringing your hands together at heart center. Go ahead and bring that back leg all the way through. Cross your ankle over top of your knee. We're sinking back and down, and we're bringing our chest towards that front shin, so that big glute stretch. Try to bend through the standing leg, choosing to stay, or you might hook your elbow opposite or same elbow over top of the same foot and come into a little twist so that drawing your top shoulder back. Nice inhale, coming back up, releasing, and then walking the feet out underneath you. Nice job. Okay, our last standing posture, and then we're going to come down to the ground. So we're going to take our right arm up to the sky. We're going to take our left hand and we're going to turn it out to the side. So your thumb is facing towards the back of your mat. And then we're going to hook our hand inside our foot. So my thumb and my big toe are facing in the same direction. And you might stay right here today, just working on tipping the hip, drawing the knee back, coming to a little bit of a pelvic tilt. Or you can start to come forward into dancer posture. Natara Asana is what it's called in Sanskrit. We're keeping a slight bend through our standing leg. Pressing the foot into the hands. Nice inhale back up. And exhale, float the arm and the foot down. Switching to the other side. Go ahead and spread your toes out nice and wide on that left foot. Bring the left arm up to the sky, so a nice long body. And then bringing your right hand just inside your foot. So remember to turn your shoulder out, thumb towards the back. And then when you're ready, just placing some weight from your foot into your hand and allowing that to be what brings you forward. Slight bend through the standing leg. Nice big inhale, coming back up and walking the feet back out underneath you. Nice job. So we're coming down onto the mat. You can just come into a nice little kneeling position. From here, we're going to take a nice big step forward with the left foot. We're going to bring both hips forward. Take a moment to tuck the tail under slightly. Bring both hips forward. Extend the arms up to the sky. And hold on to the elbows. We're going to gently move left and right. So just taking a few moments to gain some length through the side body. Then taking the right arm up to the sky, left hand down towards your mat, coming into a little side bends. Bring the hands down to the mat. And here we're just bringing both hips forward. We're lifting through the chest. You might come up a little bit higher so you can have a nice long spine. From here, possibly bending the elbows, bringing your elbows down to a block or down to a mat. Then placing your hands on the inside and the outside of your foot, go ahead and tuck your back foot under, press back to down facing dog. Taking a nice big inhale, bring the left leg up to the sky, turn your toes out at the top, press your shoulders towards your foot. Go ahead and bend your knee so your heel comes towards the opposite shoulder. So getting a nice big stretch through the front body. Nice inhale here, bring the knee just outside the hand. So we're drawing our toes up towards our knee. If this is a little bit too much for the hips today, you can bring your heel into the center of the mat so that your shin is more down the mat. So just choosing a little bit more across or a little bit more down the mat. We come into some spinal waves. A nice inhale here. And then exhale, coming forward, tummy, rib cage, chest, chin, forehead curl all the way up with your chin close to your chest. Doing 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And choosing to stay up nice and high right here, bringing some weight over into your right hip, or you might choose to bring your elbows forward onto your mat, or you might stack hand over top of hand and place your forehead on top. Coming into a little variation today, we're going to walk our hands over towards that big toe side. You might just stay up like this, or you might come onto your elbows. So we're working into the glute med a little bit, the top of the hip. And walking hand over top of hand, bringing the opposite hand over top of the knee. So just some nice little variations in pigeon posture. Coming back to the front, go ahead and tuck your back toes under, pushing back to down facing dog. And then taking a nice big inhale, right leg reaches up to the sky, turn the toes out at the top, allow your knee to bend so your heel comes towards the opposite shoulder, pressing your shoulders firmly towards that back foot. Nice big inhale. As you exhale, bring that foot all the way through, bring your back knee down to the ground, extend both arms. We're just tucking the pelvis under slightly here, coming into that big hip flexor stretch. And then holding onto the opposite elbow, go ahead and gently move left and right. Try to lean back with the upper body slightly. And bring the bottom, or the right hand down, left hand up towards the sky. Nice little side bend. Go ahead and line up your fingers and your toes, bringing both hips forward. You might come up a little bit higher to keep your spine nice and straight, or you might feel comfortable coming onto the elbows, stretching a little bit more into the hamstring. And placing one hand on one side, one hand on the other side of your foot. Tuck your back toes under. Push back to down facing dog. A nice big inhale. Right leg reaches up to the sky. Go ahead and bend through your knee. Allowing your knee to be the highest point. Getting a good hip flexor stretch. Press firmly into both hands. Inhale. Exhale. Bringing your knee just outside your hand. Remember to pull your toes up towards your knee and extend through that back leg. And then just choosing whether the angle of your shin should be a little bit more down the mat for a softer edge or more across the mat for a stronger edge. Nice inhale here. And exhale, coming forward, tummy, rib cage, chest, chin, forehead. Inhale up. And exhale down. Good job. Inhale up. And exhale down. Last one. Inhale up. Bringing your elbows down or just staying up on your hands. It's up to you. Whatever feels better to work into your body. And stay here. You might stack hand over top of hand and just bring your forehead down onto the mat. Coming into a little variation, you're going to walk across towards the big toe side. You might stay right up here, or you might come forward onto the elbows. And walking over, so bringing your opposite hand over top of your knee, coming into a little twist. Walking back to the front, tucking your back toes under, pressing back to down facing dog. From From here, we're gonna come into a nice little variation by bringing our hands and feet just a little bit closer together, bending through the knees, drawing the shoulders towards the feet. And then we're gonna take our right hand and reach back for our left foot. So we're pressing firmly into that left hand. So this is some nice work through the upper back. We're drawing our shoulder onto the back, pressing our whole mat forward with one hand. Couple nice big deep breaths here. Stay nice and strong. Bring the whole body forward into a good plank position. Pressing the shoulders away from each other. Then pressing all the way back. We're going to bring our other hand over top of our foot. We're glancing out underneath the right arm now and pressing the whole mat forward with the right hand. So some good work through that shoulder and upper back. Coming back into a good plank position. Go ahead and gently drop your knees down to the ground. We're going to sink back onto our heels. So this is a really beautiful way to stretch out the shins. I'm making sure that my feet are nice and straight back there. So often the big toes just want to kind of come in towards each other. So you might have to just straighten out the feet a little bit. If you're really tight through the bottoms of your feet or the tibialis anterior through the shin, you might come off your mat or just take a little towel if you're at home. And you might just give your mat a bit of a roll like that so that you can then place that underneath your foot. It becomes much easier to just gently sink back and down on. So from this kneeling position here, and if it's too much, just come up to a high kneeling position. We're just going to work into the shoulders a little bit, bringing the arms out to the side. Go ahead and weave your right arm underneath your left. This one won't be accessible to everybody, so I'm going to show the softer version first, and that's just to reach back for your shoulders and to just gently allow your shoulders to sink down. And then as you breathe, you're going to breathe into the upper back. For those of you that the shoulders are a little bit more flexible, you're going to wrap all the way around, roll your shoulders onto your back, and then just lift the elbows up and take the hands away from the face. So we're stretching into the trapezius area. And just bringing your awareness more to your inner wrists. From here, gently releasing. We're going to bring the right arm up and the left arm back. So don't worry if your hands don't touch together. Just work on moving the elbows towards the back. So you're pressing into your back. You might be pressing into the neck area, or you can lock your fingers together so you'd be like this, just drawing your shoulders gently back. Then releasing from wherever you're at, go ahead and come into just some nice big chest and shoulder stretches, front and back. You might just wiggle your shoulders out for a moment. Go ahead and bring both arms out to the side, and then we're going to weave the left arm underneath the right arm, drawing your shoulders onto your back and lifting all the way up. Or you're here. Just make sure you're on that other side. Breathing into the upper back. And releasing, go ahead and bring your other arm up, other arm back. And your hands don't have to touch, but just working the elbows back. Your hands do touch, and you can work on just pulling the hands a little bit closer together. Gently releasing, go ahead and come into some nice big chest stretches. And wiggling around through the shoulders. Good job. We're going to come into a seated position next. Sometimes when we've been sitting on our legs, there's a little bit of stuff that's stuck, so just giving your legs a nice little shake, shake, shake here. Good. From here, we're going to take our seat cheeks and just move them back slightly. We're coming into a seated forward fold. So we're going to take a moment to press into the ground with our hands and draw our shoulders back. And then we're just bringing our hands to our thighs. We're just going to slide the hands forward, and the hands might stop at the knees or the shins or the feet. Go ahead and take a nice big inhale. Ease off a little bit. Exhale, gently coming forward any amount. You might move a little bit left, a little bit right. So we're stretching into the hamstrings and the low back. Take a moment to draw your kneecaps up towards your hips. So we're tightening through the quads, but we're lengthening through the hamstrings. Nice big inhale. Go ahead and come all the way back up. From here, we're gonna lie out on our mat. We're gonna work into the core a little bit next. So just coming all the way down onto the mat. We're gonna bring our fingertips behind our ears. And we're gonna keep our elbows really nice and wide for the next one. So we're going to engage by dropping our belly button down towards the mat. We're gonna lift up and bring our opposite knee towards our shoulder, but without moving our elbow. So we're definitely gonna work through the torso rather than just through the elbow. So we're coming into some really slow bicycles with the heels really close to the floor without actually touching. So slower is actually a lot harder than faster. So just going nice and slow with your breath. We'll go last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. A nice long stretch. So we're stretching our fingers and our toes far away from each other. And then we're going to just bend through our knees. So keeping our knees bent, arms up. So not knees enclosed, but actually knees a little bit far away. And then we're slowly going to lower the opposite arm and the opposite leg on an exhale. We're not touching with the heel. We're going super slow. Inhale, back up. Exhale, slide the opposite arm and the opposite leg. Don't let this knee tuck in. So just a nice right angle there. Inhale, back up. So really slow and controlled, being aware of the angles at your knee and at your hip. They're at a right angle. So we're exhaling on the way down, inhaling on the way up. Slow as possible with your breath. Exhale and inhale. Exhale and inhale. Good. Nice long body stretch. Stretching the finger toes far away from each other. And last one for the abdominals. We're going to bring our feet up towards the sky. Take a moment to spread through the toes. We're pressing through the balls of our feet. So this exercise has 3 parts, and the 4th part is when we lower down. So again, really nice and slow. So we're going to lift the chest up for 1, curl the hips up for 2, lift everything up for 3, and then relax back down for 4. So chest comes up, hips come up, everything up towards the sky, relax back down. Elbows stay really wide. Chest, hips, everything up, and gently back down. Lifting the chest, the hips, everything reaches up, elbows wide, and relax back down. We got 2 more to go. Lifting the chest, the hips, everything up, and relax back down. Last one, chest up, hips up, everything straight up towards the sky, and relax back down. Really nice. We're going to flip all the way over onto our tummy so that we can stretch to the abdominals. We're going to bring our hands back towards our chest. Take a nice inhale, come all the way up, draw the shoulders onto the back. So from here, it's really nice to gently move left and right. So you're just gently feeling into the right hip and feeling into the left hip. And you might just draw one shoulder back and the other shoulder back. So you're stretching through the front body lines. Good. then gently coming all the way down. So now we've got a little bit of core to do for the posterior side of the body. So here we're just going to come all the way up. So arms extended, and then elbows out to the side. Arms extend, and elbows out. Arms extend, and elbows out. So with your breath, inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And gently relaxing down, we'll come into what's called crocodile. This is a nice relaxing posture with our toes out. Forehead over top of the hands. Just wiggle around through the hips left and right. So this is your rest right here. Take some nice big deep breaths into the side ribs and the back ribs. And our last core exercise today, we're going to bring our hands down to right here. So this is actually a yoga posture called Shalabhasana. So it's a back bending posture. We're going to roll our shoulders onto our back. And you might just stay right here today, pressing into the mat. It's really important that you keep your head in good alignment. So eyes are looking straight down. And you might stay right here. If you feel comfortable here, then maybe you take your legs away from the ground. If you feel comfortable there, you might take your hands away from the ground. So you're just reaching towards our feet with our fingers. A few nice big deep breaths. And then gently relaxing down. So stacking hand over top of hand, toes out wide, wiggle around through the hips. Bringing the forehead down onto the hands. And then taking some big loving breaths into the body. And glancing forward, we're going to roll back onto our backs. Come into a nice big hamstring stretch with the left leg in the air. So you can hold on to your thigh, you might hold on to your calf, maybe your ankle, or you might wrap your peace fingers around that big toe. But whatever works well for your body, so you get a nice hamstring stretch. We want the leg to be fairly straight, so even if your leg's here, just make sure the leg is straighter rather than bent. From here, we're just going to come in a big inner thigh stretch. So we're keeping that hamstring stretch. We're bringing the opposite arm out to the side. You might bring your hand to your thigh or your calf. So we're going to have a big inner thigh stretch. The bottom leg is pressing down and out. Inhale, coming back up. And then we're just going to scooch ourselves onto that lower rib. Come into a nice little twist. Opposite hand over top of that knee. We're glancing out over top of our right hand. So we're in this nice spinal twist, getting a good stretch through the hip. You can draw your knee up for the stretch to come into the low back a little bit, or you might draw the knee down if you want the stretch to come more into the hip. Breathing into that. Coming on to that, go ahead and give your knee a little hug in towards the chest. We're going to switch to the other side. So a nice long hamstring stretch on the other side, holding on to the calf or the thigh. You might wrap your peace fingers around that big toe. And then holding that hamstring stretch, go ahead and allow that leg to travel out. So we're coming into an inner thigh stretch, bringing the opposite arm out to the side. Couple nice big deep breaths there. Nice big inhale, coming back up, both arms out to the side. We're going to shift onto the lower hip. We're going to bring the opposite hand over top of the knee and glance out over top of the right hand. Remembering to draw the knee up a little bit for a little bit more stretch through the low back, or down a little bit for more stretch through the hip. Nice inhale up. Go ahead and give your knee a big thankful hug in towards your chest. Gently bringing both knees in. We'll roll some nice circles through the low back. So giving the lower back a little bit of a massage. Gently rolling one way and the other way. And gently bringing your feet together, just allowing your knees to turn out. You might take your heels of your hands and press the legs away slightly, drawing your shoulders down your back. And placing your palms to face up at a 45-degree angle from your shoulders. And just placing your toes out, feet about 2 feet apart. We're coming into Savasana for some gentle breaths and some nice relaxation. From here, you might wiggle around through your shoulders a bit or gently drop your chin. Then coming back to your beautiful long breath. So each time you breathe in, breathing in some beautiful pure white light. Each time you breathe out, breathing out some love for humanity. Staying here for as long as you like, just allowing your yoga practice to settle in. So today was a little bit of a stronger practice. I hope you enjoyed some of those balancing postures today. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching. And there's a few people here, so thank you, Natasha, V, Motro, Rebecca, Kurt, Dave, Jesse, Paul, and Stephen. Thank you so much for watching and possibly practicing as well. So hoping you have a really beautiful, beautiful day. This is Katie Kennedy in Comox, and yeah, just hoping each of you are staying happy and healthy, and I will see you really soon. Thank you.